How did the Sandinistas consolidate power? How did the Sandinistas consolidate power in Nicaragua? This question takes us back to a time of significant change in Latin American history. The Sandinista Revolution began in 1979 when the Sandinista National Liberation Front overthrew the Somoza dictatorship. This marked the start of a new political era in Nicaragua. After the revolution, the Sandinistas set up a government called the Junta of National Reconstruction. This group included both Sandinista members and some opposition figures. However, the Sandinistas quickly ensured their dominance by controlling key government institutions. They created a council of state filled with Sandinista representatives and aligned organizations, such as workers and women's groups. This helped them extend their influence into everyday life. Politically, the Sandinistas merged their party with the state. They centralized power in the National Directorate, which is the leadership of the Sandinista National Liberation Front. This arrangement allowed them to pass laws and govern with little opposition. Over time, they restricted political freedoms, limiting the space for dissent and opposition parties. On the economic and social front, the Sandinistas implemented reforms to tackle historic inequality and poverty. They enacted agrarian reform, redistributing land from the Somoza regime to peasants and cooperatives. They also nationalized major sectors like finance and exports. These actions aimed to empower the rural poor and working class, who were crucial supporters of the revolution. To maintain their grip on power, the Sandinistas created organizations like the Sandinista Defense Committees. These groups acted as local surveillance and mobilization units, monitoring communities and reporting any counter-revolutionary activities. This network helped suppress dissent and maintain loyalty among the population. Externally, the Sandinistas faced significant opposition from the United States. The U.S. viewed their government as aligned with communist interests due to ties with Cuba and the Soviet bloc. In response, the United States imposed economic sanctions and supported Contra rebels, which intensified internal conflict. The Sandinistas reacted by becoming more radicalized, using state power to weaken the private sector and consolidate their control. In later years, especially after Daniel Ortega returned to power in 2006, the Sandinistas further solidified their hold. They controlled the military and police, manipulated electoral laws, and sidelined opponents. The leadership also established a political dynasty by placing family members in key positions, reflecting earlier patterns of power concentration in Latin America. From a cultural standpoint, the Sandinista consolidation represents a complex history of resistance against authoritarianism and inequality. It also highlights the challenges of maintaining revolutionary ideals while exercising political power in a region marked by external interference and internal divisions. The Sandinistas' efforts to empower marginalized groups and challenge entrenched elites connect with broader Latin American struggles, even as their governance methods raised questions about democracy and pluralism.